From Sci News, new species of ornithopod discovered in Spain. From prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know. Now, let's get into the animal news of the day. Paleontologists in Spain have described a new genus and species of Ankyloplexian ornithopod from the fossilized remains found in the Villar del Arzobispo Formation. So the Ankylopolexians, so this is one of them, Oblitosaurus bunwelli. Okay, so here are the specimens that we have of this individual. So this animal, I'm guessing, looking at the size, so 1 meter, it's about 3.3 feet. Probably somewhere around pushing 18 feet, maybe. Anyway, that would be somewhere around 5.5 meters. The thing is that the Ankylopalexians are a group. Are well, they're a member of the clade Dryamorpha. Did I say that right? Dryasomorpha, and then before that, the Ornithopode. And the thing is that the Ankylopalexians first evolved somewhere around 150 million years, 154 million years ago during the late Jurassic. And they would evolve into a wide variety of different species of ornithopods and eventually becoming the iguanodontids like Iguanodon, as well as the hadrosomorphs and then the true hadrosaurs like Parasaurolophus and Edmontosaurus, Corythosaurus. But those three individuals that I mentioned wouldn't evolve for at least another 80 million years. And thing is, at this time, this is around the first 4 million years that these animals evolved. So this is probably taking place around 150 million years ago in Spain. And here you have an animal called Decentris, which is a member of the Tessenturidae lineage of the Stegosauridae family. So the family that Stegosaurus belongs to. But Decentris was actually larger than at least Stegosaurus steniops, possibly around the same size or larger than Stegosaurus ungulatus, which had even larger thagomisers or tail spikes as well as back plates than the Stegosaurus steniops. But specifically, Decentris, this animal could reach over 30 feet in length and weigh as much as possibly 8 tons. So let me know in the comments if you think that this animal is more dangerous than Stegosaurus. And I say this not just because of the distinct thagomisers, that's what we call the spikes on their tail, but even along the shoulder blade. So this animal was probably one of the most impenetrable herbivores during its time. You had early species of ankylosaur at this point, but they were nothing like their descendants. And then on the side, this is not the Oblitosaurus that has been recently discovered. This is specifically Camptosaurus. And Camptosaurus was probably close to the same size of this animal or slightly larger. Camptosaurus was somewhere around 20 feet or 6 meters in length and could have weighed as much as 2,000 pounds or around 1,000 kilograms. And this animal was also a member of the Ankyloplexian ornithopod lineage. And they would have mostly fed on probably similar vegetation that the stegosaurs like Decentris would have. Wide variety of different species of ferns, young conifer trees, possibly even semi-aquatic plants. They might even stuck by Decentris for protection. Now, possibly not. Let me know in the comments if that's what you think these smaller ornithopods would have done. Possibly, like even in North America, you had another species of Camptosaurus. They might have used Stegosaurus for protection. And this is all Decentris. It's a very unique individual. There are actually quite a variety of stegosaurs within this point of the Jurassic that had this type of armory. And many of the predators in the region had to be very careful. Let me know if you think in most cases they would have um, easily taken out something like an Allosaurus. The newly discovered dinosaur species inhabited the coastal ecosystems of eastern Iberia during the late Jurassic epoch, around 150 million years ago. Scientifically named Oblitosaurus bunwelli, The species grew up to 7 meters or 23 feet in length. Okay. Um, Let me know in the comments if you think this animal is bigger than Camptosaurus, because at the moment, well, it's longer. Yeah, you always have to be careful with that because, for instance, Spinosaurus aegypticus is longer than Tyrannosaurus rex, but Tyrannosaurus rex is heavier. Let's see. The ancient creature belonged to Ankylopalexia, a group of ornithopod dinosaurs that lived from the late Jurassic to the late Cretaceous. Now, probably wasn't a good idea to compare Spinosaurus with T Rex, but every other member of the Spinosaur lineage is longer than, but there might have been one that was slightly heavier. I think it's a debate with Stegosaurus. First appearing around 156 million years ago. This is referring to Ankylopalexia. That's older than I thought, though. Hmm. Might be a bit of a debate. Let me know when you think they first evolved. These dinosaurs became very successful, widespread during the Cretaceous, and were found around the world. Together with Draconix lori, Obletosaurus bunuli is the earliest known member of Ankylopalexia. So it looks like this animal might have been the predecessor to pretty much every other ornithopod. Ankylopalexia was an abundant and diverse clade of ornithopods present in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia from the late Jurassic to the late Cretaceous. So, yes, they would end up going extinct just along with the rest of the dinosaur clades. However, the relationships between the basal and chyloplexians are poorly understood. The fossilized material from Oblitosaurus bunwelli, a dentary tooth, an ungual pollex of the manus, and an almost complete left hind limb was collected from the deposits of the Villar del Arzobispo Formation. The estimated size of Oblitosaurus bunwelli suggests that it is the largest ornithopod described in the Upper Jurassic of Europe and one of the largest around the world. Yeah, it sounds like the largest at this point. It did have to be concerned, though, about animals such as Allosaurus, possibly another species of Torvosaurus in the region. But it's a bit of a debate it's been this way for a few years now with the species of Allosaurus called Allosaurus europus, whether or not this animal is valid. So, um, at least at the moment, I'm just going to state that just in general, the genus Allosaurus has been discovered over in Spain. I mean, Portugal. Spain has had, at least in this formation, fragments of the animal and some member of Allosauridae, but not sure specifically whether or not it's Allosaurus. Anyway, this animal reached somewhere around 30 feet in length or a little over 9 meters and could weigh as much as 3 tons. It is possible that the European individuals, well, let me know if you think these were just simply subspecies. Nobody talks about that when it comes to dinosaurs or even prehistoric mammals, that these animals might not have been species, but they could have just simply been subspecies, which are genetically distinct from other populations, just they're not distinct enough to be a species. Anyway, um, yeah, I think it's very possible if at least it could be a subspecies. I would think they would be quite distantly related to the North American lineage. However, I still think these animals could have reached somewhere around 2.5 tons. It's very possible that they might have hunted in packs. Also, unlike animals such as Tyrannosaurus rex, Allosaurus had very peripheral vision, so it saw. Yeah, you could say yes. This animal had good peripheral vision, but that also meant that it saw better towards the sides and even behind it to an extent, but not very good forward-facing vision. So that is something where later species of theropod, especially the Tyrannosaurs, later Tyrannosaurs though, not the earlier ones, would prevail in that. Even I think certain dromaeosaurs. In this region, you also have another member of the sauropod lineage. This is Turriosaurus. And Turriosaurus was somewhere around 60 feet in length or a little over 20 meters and could have weighed somewhere between 15 to 20 tons. It's a bit of a debate as to what specific family of sauropod this animal would have belonged to. Um, It's like hasn't been classified whether or not maybe it was a chimaerosaur or maybe even some sort of like a relative, the brachiosaurs or diplodocids. It's unknown at this moment, but it would have fed mostly on different species of conifers within the region. Here is a skeleton of it somewhere in Spain. This is a really good reconstruction. This must be a pretty good view in the morning. Um, oh, and the just here is simply a size comparison of the animal. And then we have the Aragosaurus, which is a member of the who specifically was it? It's not actually. I'm not sure if it's come to an agreement or at least among more paleontologists, that this animal might be a member of the Chimaerosaurid family because it has a very Chimaerosaurus-like body structure, especially this skull right here. This is very distinct from the Brachiosaurs, but this animal, unless I confused, did I confuse animals? Okay. No, I didn't confuse them. I think I flipped the sizes. Turriosaurus was around 98 feet in length and could have possibly weighed as much as somewhere between 55 to 60 tons. So it was one of the largest sauropods at this point, especially in Spain, probably the largest species. Aragosaurus only reached somewhere around 60 feet in length or 20 meters and somewhere between 15 to 20 tons. Um, the Chimaerosaurs, it is interesting because if you look at their legs, they're not the stockiest of sauropods, especially later lineages, or even if you keep the Titanosaurs at bay, which wouldn't come around until the Cretaceous around 140 million years ago, the Brachiosaurs at this point still had a much more robust sort of physique to them, or at least they were stockier. Not that this animal wouldn't have muscle, they just have much more slender limbs for some reason and they were mostly higher canopy or just higher up in the tree conifer feeders. So let's see, where were we? A Blightosaurus bwenli could be the track maker of large ornithopod tracks found in the upper Jurassic of the Iberian Peninsula. This discovery increases the known ankylopalexian diversity in Iberia, revealing the presence of an Iberian basal ankylopalexian clade that does not appear to be present in the contemporaneous outcrops of North America. So this is good to hear that we found another species of ornithopod within the region. Let me know in the comments what your favorite species of Spanish dinosaur is. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know, because nothing is better than all animals all the time.